I'm Ricky R. LaVaughn, author of Stir Up the Gifts, a Bible study in the books of 1st and 2nd Timothy. In this video, I'll be reading Lesson 2, A Personal God. This includes the questions and just a thought section. To read or print, go to lavari.com/stirupthegifts/free preview. Of course, the link will be in the description. Thank you for your support and be blessed. Lesson 2, A Personal God. The main scripture text is Matthew chapter 6, verses 25 through 32. When Jesus was giving a message about anxiety, what did he say to comfort the people at that time? Scripture text is Matthew chapter 6, verses 25 through 32. With question number 2, with all that is going on in the world, how can a message from question 1 help those who are feeling stressed? Question 3. Jesus is making a comparison to the temporary things of the earth and how more important we are compared to them. While studying the Bible, it's easy to look at it on a grand general scale. However, the Bible should be studied in a personal way. From Timothy, what is written to exemplify a personal study? This is found in scripture text is 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 15. Question 4. Why should a person study the Holy Bible? Question 5. How often should a person study the Bible and why is it beneficial? Question 6. We think of churches as always standing for what's right. Still, sometimes entire denominations can go astray from what God desires. Knowing the importance of studying for oneself, what should a person do if they see their church, group, or belief begin to stray away from God's teaching? Question 7. What if a group is leaving a particular teaching, law, or ideal that was foundation of that church? Would you go with them or stand true to what was taught or given? Explain your answer. And question 8, which is a little bit different, and that the books of Timothy were written for Paul to the pastor for encouragement in ministering to the church. The letter was personal, but the message for a multitude of people. To accomplish this, it meant that Timothy needed to have a personal relationship or communication with God. Now it says, read the people below and describe their interaction with the Lord. And each person who's listed has a particular verse or text associated with them. So that way you can then be able to read whatever that person, their interaction with God, and then describe how that went. So, part A, Enoch. Scripture text is found in Genesis chapter 5 verses 21 through 24. Part B, Abram. Genesis chapter 12 verses 1 through 7. Part C, Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 3 verses 1 through 14. Part D, Moses. Exodus chapter 3 verses 1 through 12. Part E, Jeremiah. Book of Jeremiah chapter 1 verses 4 through 10. Part F, Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 6 verses 1 through 8. Part G, Mary. Luke chapter 1 verses 26 through 38. In question 9, each of the people from question 8 had a personal relationship with the Lord, usually in regards to some job function or character trait. In modern times, what possible interactions can people have with God? And now, just a thought. I once heard a story about a terrible storm that hit a small coastal village. People boarded up their homes, hoping to protect the memories inside. The thunder roared above, while lightning put on a light show that would make most rock performances jealous. Of course, the rain fell like a river from the sky, while the wind howled with rage. Being a coastal ocean town, this also meant that the tides were higher than usual, even during the night. The next day, a visitor to the town went to the beach to take pictures. Being from the middle of the country, they never knew what it was like to experience a hurricane. Most of the town was cleaning up and taking the boards from their respective windows and doors. While walking, the visitor saw a person in the distance while stepping around thousands of starfish trapped on land. The high tides caused marine life to get stuck on the sand once the water subsided. Although they can move on the sand, starfish are not very fast, and many birds made meals of some, and the light of a midday sun dried out others. The visitor continued to take pictures, amazed at the colorful little echinoderms covering the beach, and saw that the person was a little boy tossing some of the starfish into the ocean. Step after step, the young man kept throwing them back in the water. The visitor thought this was interesting and ran to catch the young man. The boy looked up and saw the man with a smile on his face, threw a few more starfish into the ocean, then waved. "I'm curious," the visitor said. "I see that you're tossing the starfish into the ocean to save them." "That would be correct, sir," the boy responded. "But you can't save them all," the visitor said. "True," the young boy responded, and picked up a beautiful starfish with iridescent colors. The little feet under the starfish was feeling and tickling the young man's hand as it searched for familiar territory and food. "But for this one," the boy said, and tossed the animal into the ocean, "it means another day to live." Many people in the world sometimes get caught up in the storms of life. The tides of problems, calamities, issues, financial situations, health, sickness, and so much more can cause people to wash ashore into a place where they need help. Sure, over time they can get back where they need to be, but the time it takes might take too long. But God, who is personal and loving, takes the time to place us quickly to where we need to be. God is personal and loving and desires to save everybody. Just like the boy had the visitor now to help, so does God have us to support those in need. He is a personal God.